Did you come up with a new word or thought or idea that should be in that you feel is not really in either of these? So anyone in any group, just stand up and
microphone.
let us know if there's a, here we go. Do you want to come up? And others, if you have other things, please follow.
I think our group wanted something related to this nurturing the whole child, not just the academic part perhaps, but the emotional, spiritual part of the child, leading to their highest potential. And so not to leave that part out. And I think it's parts of it are in each one, but maybe not in that complete way.
Very good.
This is related to what Marcelo just said, but we thought it would sound better in Latin. So what we did was mens et manus et cord et spiritus. So mind and hands and heart and spirit. Kind of putting the whole, more than just the academics, but the whole character issue.
See if Sharon can write that. Other new thoughts or ideas?
Hi. One of the things we talked about was just the way the language that it's written in sounds slightly passive. And one of the things that we wanted to stress was, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, inspiring. Like, we use the word inspiring, but to state it as a goal is to inspire the heart and the mind and the spirit of our students.
Excellent. Thanks.
Okay, sorry, I have a list, Sharon. We said something about like differentiation. I think that idea of like appreciating differences. Something about best practices in terms of education, the way that we meet these goals. We would like to add something in terms of the graduate profile. We felt that we were feeling that tension between Christian and, or biblical and Anabaptist, and we felt that the graduate profile wording of cultivates a Christian worldview informed by Anabaptist Mennonite theology and tradition would be an interesting way to combine those and also look at the distinctives of both. Is there a possibility of a use of Christ-centered wording? What aspect of Christ's life would we be focusing on? What should be added to include, welcome, or integrate the international community at DOC? Global Society from DOC seems to partially include this, but how do we articulate that we model the inclusive practices of those who are non-Mennonite and international without losing the Anabaptist distinctives?
That's why I typed it.
Our group kind of focused on the things that we would want to keep. We were kind of trying to merge the words of the two together. And so one thought would be, whatever the name of the school is, Mennonite school teaches in a Christ-centered perspective. And another one would be merging the words, those abilities, nurture, develop, potential, academically excellent education that develops and nurtures the God-given abilities of students in preparation to be stewards in a global community. We also talked about keeping the family church and partnership with the family and church. And then wondered where radical perspective, that's in our tree that we have hanging in our rooms, how that would be incorporated. The graduate profile into the mission statement, and then wondering if something along conflict resolution should be included in there as a Mennonite perspective.
A couple more thoughts. We thought it was important to identify what do we mean by academic excellence and what do we mean by biblical perspective. And we weren't comfortable with just Christ-centered, but felt that biblical needed to be there somehow too. And one of our group talked about the audience for this, that if we don't say something about academic excellence, what does that say to colleges? So there's a lot we need to keep. So is that saying it?
how to state, like how to put this in the statement, but also keeping the perspective that we're not just making the next doctor, we're not just making the next lawyer, or the next CEO, or the next, whatever, but that we're making servants, so that it's very important that we're, whatever we're doing, that we're being Christ's hands and feet to the world. So, I would put that in there.
Other reflections, we're starting to hear, I think, what's important to you. If you also have a reflection, so the second part of that was, what do you want to make sure we keep? If you have a reflection on that, or for the group that already has the statement written, I am going to ask if they would read their statement at some point. Since they're jumping ahead, we're not going to have time to spend a lot more time writing the actual statement, but any other comments that you would like to share as far as for your group, what's really important, or if you have a statement that you would want to share, that would be tremendous. Okay, we're ready to hear the statement.
This isn't so much authored as merged. And we inserted Lisa's in the middle here because we really like that part. New name school, whatever that is, affiliated with the Mennonite Church, offers academically excellent education from a biblical perspective. The faculty and staff, in partnership with families and churches, seek to nurture the God-given potential, inspiring the hearts, minds, and spirits of each student. We are a Christ-centered community preparing students for responsible stewardship of life as members of God's people in a global society.
I thought you were working on the name also. You got the name? Okay, we're going to have the name of... Oh, after lunch we're going to hear the name. Okay. It's great to have people working ahead on this. These are going to be interesting discussions as we move ahead. We would like to get, if the recorder could make sure that that Sharon, make sure that Sharon gets your notes. If you did get to the point where you were starting to play around with what the actual statement would be, that's fine as well. But if we could get your notes, the things that you highlighted, that would be really helpful for us. This is going to be a fascinating process. I really like mission statement discussions because it's talking about what's important to us, what's at the heart of what we do and why we do it. And our work is very different from the work of, I would say, every other school. This is a unique school, and so we will see a lot of the same language you'll see in other schools. But we're a distinctive school. We have things at the heart of our mission that are very different. And that leads us into this time of worship, which is one of our distinctives, one of the things that does make us different.